It was a long, long time ago, a time when clouds didn't know their purpose yet, a time when they just traveled aimlessly around, a time before rain, a time when the land was dark and desolate. And in this time there was a cloud born, and it was a great sad cloud. And the sad cloud didn't even know why it was sad. It was just sad. And one day, one of the sad cloud's friends came around and said, I hear that there's a great wise cloud in the west. Why don't we go out and see that great wise cloud and find out why you're so sad? And the sad cloud said, sure, why not? I'm not doing anything but being sad. I'll go out west. And the sad cloud's friend said, I'll go with you because you never leave a sad cloud go alone. And so they both headed out west, and they were about 1,000 miles out. And a cloud approached them and said, Cloud, why are you so sad? I don't know, but we're headed out to find the great wise cloud and find out. Oh, my uncle. I haven't ever actually met my uncle, the great wise cloud, but I'll go with you and meet him. And so the three set out again and traveled another 1,000 miles until they came across another cloud. And that cloud asked, Cloud, why are you so sad? I don't know, but that's why we're traveling out west, to see the great wise cloud and find out. Oh, my father. I haven't seen my father in a long time. I'll go out with you too and see my father, the great wise cloud. And so all four of them set out again and traveled another 1,000 miles until they found the great wise cloud. And the great wise cloud didn't have to hear a thing from the sad cloud. The great wise cloud just said, you've had a long journey and a sad journey. Just wait here 3 days and you'll find out why you have been so sad. And so they waited 3 days. And the great wise cloud said, turn around. And they turned around and saw that the tears from the sad cloud had watered the land clear out east. See, you have been crying tears, but you didn't know that you were supposed to be joyful for the land that you've been watering. From now on, you are no longer to be the sad cloud, but the joyful cloud for all the life that you can bring forth. And so the sad cloud traveled around the world, telling all the other clouds the story, and they all too cried tears of joy and watered the earth and brought forth life all across the world, changing the world forever. And that's why we're here today, is because of the sad cloud becoming the joyful cloud. You see, one person or one cloud or one person can change the world by touching the lives of others. Speaking of that story.
Well, thank you so much for that. And do you have another one you could share with us?
Yep, I got one more I can tell you.
Great, great.
This story also takes place a long time ago, back when people were just entering what is now called the Americas. And in that time, there came down from the sky a great tornado. And the great tornado came down in California with such a force that it cracked the ground, forming what we call the San Andreas Fault. And then the great tornado started heading east. And as it was traveling east, it found a large forest of trees. And the forest saw that great tornado coming, and it was so scared it was petrified. And we now know of it as the petrified forest. From there, it traveled west again, carving out the Grand Canyon and collecting all the material from it. And then it headed up north, depositing the material from the Grand Canyon into what we now call the Rocky Mountains. And after it carved the Rocky Mountains, it started heading east. And as it started heading east, it found an area that was really slick, and it started skipping. And it skipped 5 times, forming the Great Lakes. And after forming the Great Lakes, it made a mistake and started heading south. And as it was heading south, it was creating both the Appalachian Mountains and the Mississippi River at the same time, until it got to where the Gulf of Mexico is today. But back then it was just a great area of quicksand. And the great tornado got in the middle of that quicksand and it just started sinking and sinking and sinking until the Atlantic Ocean came in and drowned it. But some of that quicksand was magnetic and it threw that out into the ocean, forming what we now know as the Bermuda Triangle. And after that great tornado passed, the ghost of that tornado sometimes comes back at the West Coast in a weather phenomenon known as El Nino. Thank you.